Hello again. We're back with another book review, this time of Almost Christian by Kendra Creasy Dean, published 2010 by Oxford University Press, so again, very recent one. What this book is it is based on the results of the National Study of Youth and Religion. They followed a group of young people through different stages in their life to get their perspective on religion, Christianity, spirituality, how they practiced those things, and how they viewed them in their life. What Dean is doing here is presenting kind of the results, or her take on the results of that survey, and they are kind of, they're kind of upsetting in certain ways. What she found is not that these young people are practicing classical or traditional Christianity, but in fact kind of a mockery or pseudo-Christianity, something they're calling moralistic therapeutic deism. Their view of God is something more like just something to give you rules to live by, morals, a good code to live your life by, therapeutic in the sense that almost making God this giant genie, someone you can come to with your problems, and he's going to fix everything, and that's it. That's how he works, and very distant, not necessarily in personal connection with people on earth. That's the deistic part, which is not the traditional teachings of Christianity at all. The more staggering finds of this survey is that the reason that this is happening, it's actually the church's fault. It is the parents, it is the leaders in the church who have been modeling and teaching this behavior that are responsible for this moralistic therapeutic deism. See, we've relegated church in our society to a place. It is a place you go. It is a task to be done. It is a program to be worked through. We've kind of made it something that doesn't really matter in the other parts of our lives. It's a special compartmentalized section of our life. That's what we've been doing, and so the result is this moralistic therapeutic deism. I know that sounds kind of fatalistic, kind of negative, but in a lot of ways I really think, if we're honest, we see how this is true and how this can happen. So it's our lack of focusing on all areas of life and focusing almost specifically on certain areas of the human experience that have made this pseudo-Christianity, if you will. And so Dean also offers some solutions, some suggestions for how to recapture Christianity as it is taught in the scriptures and understood by those who kind of started the church and started Christianity as a movement. She suggests we not only go after the youth, because the youth are learning it from their parents. So to save the youth, we have to instruct and have to educate or re-educate the parents, the adults. It's as a family-focused endeavor, not just one specific age group. So we got to get back to focusing on Christianity not as one thing of your life, one part of your life, but rather as a lifestyle. We need to make Christianity incarnational again. We live as Christ in society. We live as Christians, serve other people as Christ served us in all things that we do. So it's a very community-focused endeavor, again, not individualized, and it focuses again on relationship, bringing us back to that interconnectedness of people. And those things, relationships, community, the smallest unit where those things start is, of course, in the home, in the family. So by re-educating families as a whole, we'll be able to regain the classical view of Christianity, the strengths that are there, namely the body of Christ serving the world. That's what we're aiming for, and that is what is at stake when we do not educate people properly and we do not practice our faith properly. So again, what has happened is moralistic therapeutic deism, and it's because of the way we've been sectioning off Christianity to one part of life. We've been relegating it to a place to go, a task to be done, a program to be performed, as opposed to a paradigm in which to live life, a lifestyle that, a faith that encaptures all of us at the very core of who we are, and changing our very attitudes and behaviors on every level. Once we get back to that, the real life-changing experience of Christianity, we'll begin to reverse this trend of moralistic therapeutic deism. So what can we take from this specifically as Lutherans? Well, once again, because thanks to our rich heritage, our traditions, we have some of the key tools in place. The first and foremost of which would be education. For the Lutheran Church, education has always been a very important thing. It's been a very important part of it. It's hurrying back through our heritage and traditions all the way back. Education has always been kind of a central thrust. And that's no different here. It's just maybe how we're educating needs to be refocused a little bit. Instead of focusing only on the intellect, making faith an exercise in knowledge, we need to make faith rather a life lived, a way of living out Christianity. That's what we need to bring back to the faith, the whole life. Which again, we have some helpful tools in Lutheran theology. The idea of living a sanctified life, that's what this is about. Showing people tools and skills to live their life as a Christian, not just giving them the knowledge that they are a Christian and the knowledge that they are saved, but showing them now how to live with that knowledge and what that knowledge does for their life. Again, the theology of vocation is going to be very strong here. Namely, we serve people as Christ in whatever we do, in all things. We act as a Christian, as a believer. Bringing this back to the forefront will help us see that Christianity is really about our whole life, not just specific days of the week and not just a specific task to be done. And in fact, again, if we look back to Lutheran tradition, Lutheran heritage, these things are kind of built in. Luther's small catechism is all designed and written in a way that the head of the household would then educate the family on how to be and live as a Christian in their everyday life. It starts with head knowledge, but then flows out into experience in what we do and how we act and behave in society as Christians. We have these tools in place. It's just a matter of recapturing them and reworking them to use them in today's society, refocusing and recapturing that classical idea of Christianity, the idea of a community for Christ, living as the body of Christ in this world. If we can get back to that, we're going to reverse this moralistic therapeutic deism. So once again, the book was Almost Christian, published 2010, so very recent. I really recommend it. It definitely opened my eyes to a lot of things, to some trends that are happening in Christianity as a whole, as well as giving me some ideas on how to maybe build a more impactful ministry that's going to help people in their actual everyday lives at all levels, and not just in a kind of set apart way, but in their whole life. Because if we really believe that Christ made a difference for our whole life, we should be teaching that. And so that was kind of a big help in this book. So again, Almost Christian, I highly recommend it. I hope you get a lot of benefit out of it. Thanks again. Bye.